Welcome back to The Good Talk, our post-game recap and Q&A show where we discuss the game that we just played and answer all your burning questions, both Warhammer and otherwise. We just came off of an awesome game, a very close game, which we're going to spoil the heckins out of, so if you haven't seen it, turn back. It was crazy.
Wild, dude.
Oh my God.
The swing was so hard. Like, we knew it was coming, but like, there was even swings on the dice too. Where
I know,
Jeez
right?
Louise, man. I was dominating the beginnings of the game, right? You said I played the beginnings half. You played the top half.
Yep.
It was your time to shine, especially going second. You knew you were going to cash in the points.
Totally.
And you had some doubt on that fifth turn because of the max primary. You really cashed in your secondary. Really good.
I knew that we were going to max out primary because you had reminded us of that, but I still forgot. And so when we totaled up the scores, and you look and you say, okay, is it a differential of 12 points?
Yeah.
If it is, then you've got it. You're done. I'm like, cool, I got this. And you're like, don't forget, it maxes out. I'm like,
yeah. So you ended up getting 9 instead of 12.
So suddenly I have to make that up.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out if we're going to be able to take away your honor or what, and how do we make that happen? At the end, it's just like, okay, well, let's just do everything we can.
Just kill the thing.
Let the dice fall where they may.
They fell.
And they fell. It worked. We killed that knight with everything going in, and that was the final swing. So, but like that was it. If I hadn't done that, then it would have been your game by basically the same differential, just the other direction. It was like a 2-point game either way.
It was great.
So, someone in chat was suggesting or asking, would you have put the shots instead of it going into the transport, going into the Ballistari? It's a little riskier.
Yeah,
right?
it is. No, I said at the beginning of my turn 5 that I was playing it safer. I had the points lead, and it was Adrian's. I wanted to put it in Adrian's hand to make the right decision. Sure, if I knew Adrian was going to roll that hot with his Ballistari and all his shots to just nuke, like he rolled, that was probably his best turn of shooting, and just nuked 14 wounds off a big knight, something that he hasn't done all game, right? So really good in one turn.
Except for the first turn.
Except for that first turn. You're right.
But you need to kill 2 things or 1 vehicle?
I need to kill 2 things.
And how many points is that worth?
That was 2 points. Yeah.
So if you didn't shoot the transport, the odds of him killing all of Ballistari is pretty low.
Slim, yeah.
So it's a big risk because you need to then kill. I guess you put all the shots. So you don't worry about the rust stalkers.
Yeah.
You need to fully kill them at that point.
But yeah, it's
Valid point though.
It's a valid point for sure.
Yeah.
It's for sure.
Interesting. It looks crazy close. Very interesting. We see a lot of Nephilim sort of paradigms in here, where it's like, the knights for 2 of your secondaries were pretty much done by turn 3, right?
Dude, yes. Yeah, I was passively earning the other basically. So I think they're really good.
It's really exciting. It's really cool.
15 points, turn 3.
Oh, that was
really
so
great.
scary. Oh my gosh.
It did take my knights out of commission. Like, sure, I would love to shoot an extra thermal somewhere, but yeah,
I think it's very interesting the way you kind of play around that. Do you have an MVP for this game?
I think it has to be the Monarch, the High Monarch.
He's the one that sat in the middle.
He's the one that sat in the middle for most of the time.
The only one you had left.
Yeah, the only one I had left.
He's the king of the hill.
He was my warlord as well, and he kind of just gave the -1 damage to people. Looking back, I thought I would charge more. I thought it would be in more melee. I thought it would be advancing and charging more and like doing all these cool things in combat. Didn't do too much of that. Kind of just sat around and scored points and shot at things. So
sat around and scored points.
I would probably change to like a Mechnicus build, like a version of this, but Mechnicus for some more survivability. But I think the Monarch in this case, the Errant, was really good, even though technically wasn't doing anything with his rules like melee or anything, or advancing and charging.
I mean, it was the threat that was there.
Yeah,
and I had to respect that threat. And it meant that coming in, I had to be farther back and take more risks, like that 10-inch charge. So I think it's one of those things where even if not all of his rules were in play, they were still impacting the game.
Sure.
So I think it's him 100%. He was so scary to shoot at.
Yeah.
It just was so risky for me.
Crusaders were close. Oh man, they're all really good.
They all did great.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Like not the Paladin, the Crusader just shot and killed a bunch of things. Whatever he had line of sight to, he just shot, kept you out of my backfield for a while. And the armigers were just cool armigers. They stuck around longer than I thought as well.
They're unreliable to kill.
Yeah.
Which is what you want in 40K, right?
Cool. What about you? MVP for the AdMech?
It's got to be the Battlestar.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things.
core.
Getting core was huge. They would have done a fraction of what they did here. So that was a huge, huge deal. I think everything did its job, which I was super happy with. Rust Stalkers actually did work, which was awesome. Especially after the last outing into the Black Templars, where they just got destroyed. So that was cool. But really, the Battlestari were the backfield fire base that were able to say, there's a lot of advantages to being knights, but the biggest advantage is, of course, obscuring. So able to sort of leverage that obscuring so that the Crusader could never really get shots was really helpful. And core was awesome. It was so, so good for them. So yeah, for sure. And I'm glad. That was kind of the idea of this list, is like, can we get these Battlestar back in the game and make them do work? And they did.
Totally.
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh, you know what? Like it's twofold. Yeah, I'm thinking about the score still. I'm like, could I have done? But yeah, I definitely played it safe. If I didn't kill two things, now you kill him, and I lose points because I'm not virtuous anymore. So it's like it's more points that I would have lost.
That's a great point, actually.
So it's his. But then I could have rolled hot and killed Battlestari. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's riskier, right?
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
And I had to do basically at least exactly the same amount of wounds that I had done in the previous turn or 2 turns.
Yeah.
So it was like not well. It's a good game. That's how you know it's good, when you're thinking about those minutia.
You know what I should have done? I should have kept, if there was a way to keep him in my deployment zone.
Yeah.
No, because I don't think I could have been in my deployment zone and still held the point and not have moved closer.
If you rewind all the way to when we moved the objectives, do you think
I could have
moving it down, you can move it
seeing into
diagonal?
Seeing into turn 5 and then like maybe having like a cool angle to like
like if you took this list to a tournament, you would get to this mission, you would know this is what you want to do now.
Yeah.
I always find that other than when I'm like trying to win an RTT or something, my favorite outcome of a game is what you had tonight.
Yeah.
It's to lose barely. That's when I learned
where you
the
just
most.
can't sleep, you're in the shower thinking about the 2 points that you could have gotten.
Right, and you will figure it out. You've already figured some stuff out. Right? Like if you win by a little bit, that's second best, like what you had, right? Yeah. A blowout one way or the other is like always.
Almost no one's happy. Right?
No one's happy.
Yeah, you don't really learn much.
Yeah.
But barely losing like that in a non like RTT or GT game is my favorite, because it like I go home and like, how do I get those points, right?
Exactly.
It's kind of fun.
Totally agree. Well, that's going to be it for the game. If you guys have any questions, do let us know. We're going to answer your super chats, and I'm going to enjoy this lovely Lunchable that Magnus gave us on
Let's
Tuesday.
talk a little bit about Lunchables for a second.
Okay, look,
we do have some
a
super
lot of
chats to answer, but here's the deal. Magnus on Tuesday sent John, Bridger, Lindsay, and I Lunchables. Realistically, around the studio, only one man really eats Lunchables, and that man is Adrian.
That's right.
So Magnus,
love my Lunchables.
Magnus, I don't think he's here today, but we don't want to tell you, like, hey, Adrian's gonna eat all the Lunchables. We ate the Taco Bell, actually.
Yeah.
And
soft tacos are the way to go, especially if they.
I still disagree with you on this.
What?
Yeah, because the hard taco. Okay, so the taco.
Lindsay also went for like the Doritos tacos as well. I'm like,
when a hard taco comes and has to sit for a few hours, it doesn't become. It becomes a medium taco. And I actually like medium taco.
I thought his argument was going to be like, look, if I grab a hard taco, a crunchy taco, it's going to be a soft taco anyways. They're all soft tacos.
Ergo, all tacos are soft tacos.
So you're right. No, I don't mind the medium. I actually don't mind it. It is a little messy.
Yeah.
Sure.
And he sent the good ones. He sent the ones that have like the lettuce and tomato in them, not just the meat and cheese.
Sorry, less tomatoes?
No, lettuce and tomato.
Oh, lettuce and
no, the basic Taco Bell taco is like just meat, lettuce, and cheese, I think.
Correct.
He sent the ones that also have
those are the supreme.
Oh.
They have tomato and sour cream.
Yeah.
Those are the fancy ones
and
for sure.
those are.
You don't want a soggy hard taco. That's just not gross. I mean, it is gross.
Taco Bell's funny. It weirdly gets like a bad rap, but I think kind of like it's not authentic. That's what people get caught up on, right? Like a burger and fry joint in America, people are like, "Oh, that's a burger and fry joint." Talking about like it's not real Mexican food. It's like, no kidding, but it's still like pretty good. It's still.
Bridger is
man.
throwing things. You know he's watching the
gross.
stream, probably throwing things across his room right now. And it's
Oh,
real.
what?
It's real.
I'm defending Taco Bell. I would think he would be
I'm
excited.
upset. It's pretty gross,
Bro,
man.
Bridger thinks this is real Mexican food. I don't know.
You know what's not gross? Pizza and Treatza
Yeah.
Lunchables. Look, it makes pizzas
Here.
and treats.
This is literally sponsored content
No.
that we're not sponsored for right now, by the way.
So true. Look, it's amazing. And they even use the same bread, like the same hard, soft bread.
That is a great way to describe that bread.
Hard, soft. Actually,
soft.
Lindsay is the one that came up with that. And I was like, that is 100% accurate.
I had my first pizza Lunchable today ever, and you guys were all surprised I never had
We
one
were
before.
shocked.
Yeah.
This is actually the lesser of all the Lunchables, in my opinion.
Yeah. This is what we did for an hour before the stream started. By
We
the way.
ranked them.
We were
ranked
doing other things too. some of us.
elementary lunches. Yeah, it was important. Anyways, look, I'm going to be enjoying a nice pizza and treatza while we answer these questions. So thank you, Magnus.
Yeah, thank you.
When you first said that, I thought like, okay, you get like a regular Lunchable with like a little treat on the side. No, that is the
Pizza, treatza. And importantly, it's the supreme one. So it has a Capri Sun, which is important.
And the flavor on this Capri Sun is different.
It's different. This isn't like the classic. The one I had earlier. Yes, this is my second lunch.
This isn't Pacific Cooler.
This is a fruit punch wave.
it's specifically cooler.
No, Pacific Cooler. That's the classic.
Pacific.
Yeah. Specific Cooler.
Pacific Cooler.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. I'll do a review. But anyways.
Thank you, Tea Time with Toby. A, J, and Z Dog, you
up,
bunch of
Z Dog.
fiends. Thank you for all your streams. Tips for painting Ultramarines Eliminators. Also, check the Ultramarine Discord. There's an Ultramarine Discord.
There's what?
There's
No,
one for all
there's a
factions.
channel, Zach, in the Discord. There's channels.
I know.
One of them is.
I didn't realize
you got it?
that Ultramarines had a specific one. I thought,
All the sub Space Marines have one.
Yeah.
oh, interesting.
Because we love them.
Yep, there.
Oh, there,
Oh,
yep.
so,
See?
whoop.
Look at all the stuff you're missing.
What would you guys do for like the pattern, the cloaking pattern
Yes, so
on Eliminators?
He does ask this later in another super chat.
Oh, does he really?
Let's actually go back up and address all of these super chats from Tea Time and Toby at once. And then, where is it? Here we go. Okay, Tea Time, 1 sec. We're going to get this. We're going to get this right. Oh, God, I just saw a Steely Yard super chat. I can't wait to get
Much
to it.
like
He's
the
the one
honor-
that's been asking
Yeah.
us these insane
Much like the
questions.
honor system, we just take Zach's word that he knows how to
I know,
navigate the
right?
super chats.
Base Dorothy, are you leaving soon, or they want to make sure that we have their super chat? So we'll check that in
Oh,
a second.
no, yes, we do. Going back, like, Base Dorothy had a question that you answered, and I think we all thought she was talking about a different thing. This is
Okay.
on, like, Saturday, I think.
Okay.
We'll get it, Base Dorothy, right after this.
All right, cool.
Tea Time with Toby has another question. He's saying he leaves now John out of this because
Well,
he thought a little bit more about the question.
Wow, you don't want my opinions on active camo cloaks?
Yeah,
Painting active
He
camo
says,
cloaks.
"Thank you, Tea Time for Toby." He says, "How would you paint Eliminator cloaks for Ultramarines? Wanted to do active camo. I have till the 17th to be prepared." I have done camo. I'm super into like camo cloaks.
Yeah.
I've
Picking
done
our
it.
guys up, putting them back down.
What's that? In general, I love this, all of it, but painting them as well. There's a painting. There's a video on Hobby Titans for the Shroud Runners that came out in February.
good.
February.
Yeah.
It's not. I know it's not. I know it's not good. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous food item. Anyway, and I paint the Shroud Runner, the Rangers. I paint the Shroud Runner cloaks in that video by using actually airbrush and then like these stencils that you can. But what I use is actually the paper plants that people put on their bases. And after I punch the plant out, I keep them and spray through that.
Yeah.
The big thing I think about if you're trying to do a camo cloak to imply active camouflage is to tie in the cloak with your base. I actually also, I need to post in the Ultramarine set. I made an Ultramarines kill team and I had a bunch of scouts. And I did them on Martian bases. And then like the bottom is the Martian color and the top is like the sky. So like a dark blue with like some stars.
That's cool. Hey, there's no blue sky in Mars.
Yeah, but it was also like hazy red, like it went up into
Oh,
it.
okay,
So,
okay,
it was- I should post those. I think when you do a camo cloak, you really want to think like, what is it that you're like look up images like jungle, and look up cool sci-fi images like Jungle Moon World, however you're basing them, right? Like look up pictures of Hoth, like look up pictures of Hoth fans have made, and just like see like how you can blend the base in, and then maybe you have to create a sky as well. Stencils are cool. If you're airbrushing, that's great. But you can also do stencils like for grass leaves and stuff. You can literally just cut like with a pair of scissors, just little, little spikes with pairs of scissors, and then just kind of carefully brush.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it by hand. I think in some of the really fancy camo close stuff is you have to do it by hand.
Yeah.
Right? The ones where it's like the energy that's like activating almost like Halo style.
Yeah.
You have to do that by hand.
Yeah.
And it's like painting in those lines of energy in like slightly thinner and brighter until you're getting to the white, getting those bands. It's not going to look correct until you're done. It's one of those things.
Yep.
But otherwise, I do also recommend stencils if you can, or these types of stencils. They don't have to be fancy necessarily. My Rangers for my Eldar, I painted them in metallic blue first, and then I did a hex stencil on top with like black. So they're like black camo cloaks with kind of this like metallic kind of hexagon pattern kind of coming through.
Very cool.
So same principle, a little bit different application, but yeah, lots of ways to do it. And it's a ton of fun, honestly. Definitely agree with matching the base, too.
I'm going to check the Ultramarine Discord. Shoot me a message also, Tea Time, and I'll see if I can dig up my Ultramarines that I did and show you a picture. My Kroot, not my Kroot Shaper, but what's his name, Grek. I also did like a nighttime scene on his back. I kind of like with those big cloaks, and Eliminators, they have these just nice big cloaks and they're all wrapped around.
So perfect.
You almost kind of want to paint like a scene. Like, that's sort of how I thought about it with most of these.
Yeah.
Galaxy effect is cool if you want to like depict sky, night sky, or evening sky.
Tea Time with Toby is ready to play Ultramarines. He's decked out.
Oh yeah, he is very ready to play Ultramarines. That's great.
That's amazing.
Has the backpack. You guys can't see it yet, but he has the backpack.
Nice
Check out the
shirt.
Discord. Shirt and beanie. And a sweatshirt on top.
Wait, can I see that picture again?
It's art.
I really thought the backpack was a baby.
Baby. Me too. At first glance, I thought he was holding like a baby.
He was a baby dressed in blue, and you didn't mention it. I was like, that's weird to not mention the baby that he's holding. But it's his hand holding a blue backpack.
Yeah, but I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. And I thought for sure that I was weird. So
I was into it. I was
He
super,
didn't ran with it. Oh
yeah,
my
look,
God.
dress your baby up for Ultramarines.
It's more concerning of how he was holding it. He was just like...
No, because his hand was the baby's head. It was
Oh,
bundled up.
that's what I thought.
So he was like, it was like this.
Yeah,
He wasn't
yeah.
like, babe.
That's...
And that's not like an unusual thing.
Because you're taking a picture. It's just like...
It's not an unusual thing to be like, hey, I love Tau, and I have a newborn, and here I am posing with my Tau stuff, and I dress
Yeah,
my kid
sure.
as, or like football, or which
Totally.
is a sport.
Yeah.
For John, so he knows.
I'll be honest. This chocolate
It looks disgusting. It looks
looks
awful.
even more
It looks absolutely
less
disgusting.
appetizing.
It looks so bad.
That's not the color on the box.
It's not, and it kind of just.
Y- y-
I don't know.
Adrian, what Base Dorothy is asking, she was asking a while back. They're asking about making a Corsairs themed army
Okay.
and wanting to make a warlock or farseer, like craft world units that are riding on the Hellion thing instead of a bike.
Oh.
And I think we gave suggestions that were sort of like
How to-
how to do it, if, like replacing them with Reavers, not Hellions. And
Right, how
the
to put them on
question
bikes.
just having is how to make them look okay, like the bottom half, like it's riding these things.
Okay. So
And that's pretty tough.
So who's going on the Hellion?
So they're going to be, that's part of the question. They're meant to be like warlocks and farseers. It's a craft world army.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But they would be on bike.
And
Like
themed to kind of, yes.
Wait, on bike?
In the game.
In game, they're riding a bike, but she wants to have them riding a
Hellions instead.
Because they're
Hellion.
cooler. Oh, yeah.
Right. More piratey for sure.
more piratey.
Yeah. Treasure Planet.
Oh wait, let's see.
Okay.
Combining Corsairs and Hellions to make my Farseer Warlock Skyrunners, and one advice on making the legs fit better on the Skyboards. Hellion legs are barefoot and don't fit armor. Oh, see, that's tough, because my initial thought, Base Dorothy, was going to be to tell you, honestly, I would try to, that the way they're standing is weird. Yeah. And I don't know that there's a lot of other models. I couldn't really think of other models. They're standing, their feet are kind of cupped, like not cupped, but they're like...
Tzeentch Herald on disc.
But that disc is so flat. These things aren't flat, and they're like...
Yeah,
it's hard.
And that's the look you're going to get. Like, a Tzeentch Herald on disc, or anything on disc, like Zangors on disc, they're magic users and archers, like standing on something.
Yeah, so you're worried that it's going to be very flat-footed.
And these guys are like... These guys are like crouched. They're like they're like gonna zoom by and like hit you, right? Like so they're.
So I would say a couple of the things that I was talking about with how to put. God, I just can't even look at it. It's staring back at me.
I mean, we all know what it looks like, and it's not good.
All right. Ways that you fit models to bikes is very similar to what you could do here. So similar things such as you got to pose the legs right. So again. Kind of cutting out that wedge, like I talked about, posing them. When you're doing these very particular, tiny, detailed conversions, I've found that the Insta-Set glue and Insta-Set spray to be your best friend, because you need to get them in a very specific position and seal it in immediately. So if you're not familiar, Insta-Set is kind of like the purple glue. I'm not sure where you're based at, Base Dorothy, but in the US it's like a purple glue, and it's called Insta-Set, and there's Insta-Cure, and so you apply just a teeny bit, get it exactly right where you want it. So it might be like cutting the leg and then like pulling it up, and obviously it's not going to stay, and unless you want to hold that for like 10 minutes, it's going to be a pain. So then you spray it, and you do that bit by bit, including when you get to the Hellion, where I think honestly you would almost like chop the foot up,
which is scary.
Pose
on
them
a little model, right?
Where you want them to be.
Just be careful.
Like, don't worry about the feet, but then attach them to it, spray it again, so they're like perfectly where you want. Feet might be totally messed up, but then you start to reassemble it, right? So you're like almost using this like spray as like save points to be like, cool, the legs look good, not weird, now I can do the feet. You might have to do some green sculpting of feet to solve this problem of like curved feet grabbing stuff.
Yeah.
But they can be wearing boots.
That's true.
You don't have to do barefoot toes. You can make little booties for them,
Yeah.
So those are the main things I would look for. And I think Insta-Set is a huge game changer.
He's right, and Adrian's funny. He uses it all the time, and I tend to not. For a while, I never want to use it, and it's actually useful in a way that's not like lazy. Like I'm just trying to be quick. It's like when your body just can't, like you can't hold it there. Yeah. Like
you can't. It was time for that.
Game changer, cool.
Thank you, Avery. I have 95 points to fill in my Goths for the Nova Narrative. I have Gaz and Macari.
Yeah.
Macari? What is that? Who's that?
Macari. Yeah.
That's his little
dude.
Okay. That sounds like not an orc name.
It's a goblin name.
Okay,
goblin.
got it. Yeah. Beast Boss, Weird Boy, 3 units of Beast Snagga Boys, 1 unit of Normal Boys, Commandos, Grots, Tank Bustas, Knobs and Hogs, Wagon, Truck, Rig, Buggy, and Scrapjet. It's nice and narrative.
Little bit of
awesome.
everything. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I like it.
95 points left.
What can you get with 95 points?
Right.
How much is a unit of boys?
105.
Yeah. Oh. So now you're looking at like...
Oh wait, they might be 95. I think Beast Snaggers are 105.
Oh, if they're 95...
Maybe you can make some Gretchen, but Gretchen might be really making it stronger, right?
And Grots are 50, so you still have, then you have 45 points left over.
Yeah. Interesting.
Weird Boy
3. Can you bring like a single like can or like the big version? How much are those?
Oh.
Those are kind of cool.
Oh.
Oh yeah, but they have Grots already.
I say another unit of boys if you can.
Yeah.
He's boy light currently.
Because it's like both. It's both like good without being.
Boys
like,
are 80 points.
Without being abusive.
Right. That's fair.
You know.
And there's probably some 5 or 10 point upgrades.
Death Dread is 85 points.
How many?
85.
A Death Dread.
That's pretty
Death
cool.
Dread. Death Dread. Avery.
I will say this, Avery. one thing to consider in a narrative event for yourself, but also for your opponents, depending on like what you're thinking. I'm sticking with boys because the Def Dread is like, at this point, you're showing up with so many data sheets. And
Sure.
I don't know, that it's kind of a...
You might be too focused on piloting your army to like really enjoy the narrative itself.
And your opponent might like have a hard time keeping track of your your rig, your buggy, your scrapjet, and your kill. You know what I mean?
What's the theme, you
That's
know?
fair.
Maybe
Yeah.
you gotta stick with the theme.
I think sometimes narrative lists are almost better when they have a theme, like you're saying. Kind of
Yeah, that's fair.
That's right.
not one of
That's
every
fair.
unit in the book.
Huh.
Like you can't go wrong with boys, honestly.
How much is 5 more commandos?
Oh, they have commandos?
Yeah.
55.
So not enough for 10, but you could make commando squads bigger.
You could.
Split into
Yeah, I was
two.
like maybe even upgrade the boys to beast snaggers, you know? Things like that.
Yeah.
Since you can
Yeah.
kind of stick with the bigger orc.
Although the boys, one unit of boys with a truck, you can make them truck boys.
That's what's going on
Yeah.
there.
It's so fun. But you could add more commandos, and you could make it a 10-man, and then that unlocks the bomb squig and the battering ram, which is cool, the breacher ram.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
yeah, I guess you make a valid point. More infantry. Yeah. Well, have fun. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, we'll see you at Nova.
Totally.
Thank you, Evan. Death comes for us all, Skitari Marshal, but something much worse comes for you. For when you die, it will be without honor.
Without honor!
What? I feel like that was a limerick somehow, and less of just a straight threat.
Evan adds, have a fantastic game. Thanks for the great shows and great content. Thank you, Evan.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Evan.
Evan.
Appreciate it. It was so much fun.
Yes.
Yes.
We died with honor.
You did. Oh man.
Virtuous, actually.
You died virtuously. Gosh, it's so hard to make you dishonor. I wanted to tempt you so bad. I was like,
Honestly,
walk
like,
backwards, and you're like,
no.
you're so unwavering.
He's like,
Oh my god.
Knight can't even turn around. Like,
Yeah.
No.
Out of the question.
You can't even turn around.
Can't even
I think
lose
you would
on.
have lost rather than go backwards. Which, to be fair, we were like, hey, it's 1 point. It's 1 point.
yeah. No, I knew it was going to be a close game. I was like, no. can't do
Love
it.
it. Stuck by your guns. I'm into it.
Thank you, Greyhawk. I fell in love with the Piper Makes Tau and bought a 3D printer. I'm building up my army, but I've never worked with magnetizable minis. Any tricks for painting up minis that have alternate loadouts so they still look uniform?
Ooh. That's a good question. A tough question.
I don't...
You know what he's talking about?
I know.
So, for example, with a lot of Tau stuff, it's actually fine because the gun will often be like a separate color. So you have like the gun and the guy. But if you have like armor plates, like I'm trying to think of an example. You can often get, if you like have the arm, let's say your arm is magnetized and you paint this and then you paint all the hands separately, you can have like an awkward thing where like they slightly mismatched, or like you start airbrushing and it's like going to light and then it suddenly jumps to dark or whatever. The seam can kind of be awkward. But I think part of it is you can solve this by almost leaning into it in some cases, right? Again, with the Tau stuff, like almost all of my, actually no, all my Piper's Tau weapons are all just white. They're white and grays and things like that, so like starkly different. And so don't really run into that seeming issue. But I think you can also just do that, like be intentional. Like this technique that I'm talking about, or this problem I'm talking about, where it's like light to dark on plates. Well, a lot of time you're doing this intentionally. So work it into your workflow. Say that like, yeah, it's going to be from light to dark, and this is going to be plate from light to dark, and this is light to dark, so that when you magnetize them, you're actually turning it to your advantage.
I guess that's what I've done. All my Tau weapons are the same color as my Tau armor. And I've never, maybe I just don't care. I've never looked and been like, oh,
Yeah.
this one starts shading here and this one doesn't start shading till like 10% further down. Or
Yeah.
I've never really...
I noticed it with, I just did Bone Rip and Thanquil as sub-assemblies.
Yeah.
And I did the arms, and then there was like an elbow that I had to do separately. And when I glued
Oh, I
them
see.
together, it was 2 totally different flesh tones.
Oh,
and if that was a magnet point.
That's something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's different. Yeah, for Tau, like you said, it's almost with normal Tau or with Piper Makes, it almost seems the flesh thing is an issue. Because now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like doing like some of it's airbrush and some of it's not. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
I almost just paint it with an airbrush and clean up whatever I have to.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I always sort of think one thing, like when we painted the Gargants, like absolutely cannot get any paint on the skin. Right? Like one thing has to be airbrushed, and that's like, it's usually the skin.
Yeah.
For my daughters, there's the skin. And then like everything else can be cleaned up in other ways. But like, yeah, with magnetizable things. I also like the corks that I have with the wires, and then magnetize, and I paint on there. Make sure you're sticking your magnetizable things to some kind of wire or like some kind of little metal plating thing that you have. Yeah. Good luck.
Sounds hard.
It is hard.
Jeez.
They're
It's hard.
awesome models.
But it's not a lot to paint with Tau. It's just like the guns. You just have to get through. I mean, it's a lot of little guns, but
And Piper has like insane like customization. Like you would not believe the levels of magnets that are possible with these models. It's crazy. Like little sub parts of armor, like every joint can be magnetized if you want to get into that part of it. You know.
yeah.
It's nuts. It's cool.
Interesting.
I sent you actually the new stuff she's working on. But you didn't respond to it.
Is it Tau?
It's Tau.
Interesting. I'm the weird thing about it is like I like the stuff, but I like the GW Tau model so much that I'm like,
Yeah.
I have a hard time getting into her line.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's great when you can start a new
Start
army
fresh,
with like
Right.
the whole range.
Yeah.
But like Zach is already down the rabbit hole.
it looks too
like-
different, right?
yeah.
Almost.
It depends. Yeah. Some of them are.
Some of them.
Some of them not. You can.
The drones, I think, would work.
The drones are awesome.
Yeah.
The drones are super cool.
Thank you, Devin. What's up, tight ends? What are your thoughts on Wolfen being 20 points now? And if Lehman Russ comes back to the tabletop, what would he look like? Stats, new armor.
Ooh.
20 points is interesting.
What were they before?
Too much.
Too much.
Are they 2 wounds or 3 wounds?
2 wounds.
2 wounds, yeah.
Fight on death. They hit decently, but the problem is they have no armor. They have like 4-up armor, right?
Oh.
But for 20 points, I don't know if you can still get advance and charge on them or not, but 20 points, I would look into it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Maybe we'll play them next time.
Did they take up a elite slot?
Yep.
I don't know.
Or worse, a fast attack
Yeah,
slot. I
just
it's elite.
think there's just so many things. There's dreads, you're taking blade guard, Primaris stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many other things you can take. I don't know.
The problem with Space Wolves is they have like Fenrisian wolves, right?
Yeah.
And like then they also have Wolfen, and they almost are like
Too similar?
you almost would want not quite, but you'd almost like want another chapter that doesn't have Fenrisian wolves to have something like Wolfen.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like, and there's no blood claws. There's just like so many like little hoardy
Yeah.
things, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they were definitely fighting for slots. I think check it out, try it.
Yeah, I definitely want to look at the data sheet and look
Yeah.
it over for sure. I'm intrigued now.
Lehman Russ? I think he's a Wolfen for sure.
You think he's a Wolfen?
I think he's a Wolfen basically.
he's gone full wolf.
Yeah. Look, I've said it before, and we've gotten in arguments about it, but like,
We've gotten into
Sorry, where's the current state
not,
of
not with you, but I can think it was Bridger.
Lehman? Is he in the Eye of Terror? No.
They were at the Great Feast, and he just like got up. And
Oh,
like,
he just
hey,
left. He just
He's
left.
like, I'm gonna go get some cigarettes, and he didn't come back.
Yeah.
And he's
That
like on
seems
some
like what
quest.
most of them did.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. I know. Yeah, it was Bridger. I'm glad he's not here for this.
No, it's the Khan that's in the Eye of Terror. Yeah.
Because they're not gonna keep like, they can't just release like regular Primarchs for the good guys. They gotta shake up in 40k. It's like cool, we have them normal for Horse Heresy, but they can't just do the same thing again.
Right, like
So they all need
my
to
theory
spin.
that there should be like who was I saying should be a demon? Vulcan or Vulcan should be a
Vulcan
demon.
should be a demon.
Yeah, he should pretty much be like
Yeah.
a demon. I think these people should actually have the demon keyword.
Actually have the demon. That's a bold claim, my friend.
Like, doesn't Avatar Arcane have a demon keyword?
Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, but that's a
He's like, that's like his whole thing. Like he is a demon. It's not like, oh, he's a demon. Ooh.
No, I know. Like, I know. But
he's willed
I
into
think
existence
Wolfen,
from
Yeah.
Wolfen
Eldar.
style demon riding a wolf.
Yeah, so if he came back, first of all, yes, I would be okay if he had the demon keyword.
Yeah.
That's fine. You'd have to find a reason for it, and it's because he was, got the wolf and curse or whatever and all this stuff. I just don't think they're gonna do normal.
Liberty Fires, we're gonna do super chat.
I like
next.
your answer. I can't one up it. It's good.
Yeah.
like it.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay, here it is, Liberty Fires. John. Thank you, Liberty Fires. John, top 3 knights, not 40K, go.
Oh my gosh, I'm panicking. Oh, dude, Jamie. That's we just talked about Jamie. Jamie's cool. Top knight.
We all got raked over the coals a little bit for that one in chat.
Wow, brutal.
Ooh, oh gosh, what is? He played the Joker. He was in A Knight's Tale. The knight is called
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Ledger.
You're talking about
Heath Ledger. What was? I don't know
I
his
forget
character's
his name
name.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A Knight's Tale.
He had A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
Gosh, Jacob, maybe.
I haven't seen that.
Top
in
3 knight,
years.
definitely.
What do you think? Third one, Sir Pounce
Ooh,
from Game of
Sir
Thrones.
Pounce?
From Game of Thrones.
Aw.
Sir Pounce.
Sir Pounce was
It was not Joffrey's. It was his brother.
the nicer one.
Yeah, the nice one
Was it
had
his
a cat.
cat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir Pounce.
I totally missed that.
Sir Pounce?
That's a
What?
great
Sir
name for a
Pounce.
cat.
That's so good.
Yes, Sir Pounce.
No,
oh
wait,
my
really?
gosh.
No.
Why not?
Oh, it could be a
Can I think of another knight?
it could be a real world knight like Sir Elton John, or Sir.
Nope. Keep going.
Here's some other real world knights.
There's lots of knights now. Sir Ian McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen.
Chat. Keep going. Nice.
He's also
nice.
a wizard too.
Oh,
so that's
Tommen's
pretty cool.
cat. Tommen's cat. There we go.
Tommen's cat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you know it's a super interesting movie? The Green Knight. Have you guys seen that? A24. It's kind of interesting.
Is that the horror one? Is it a horror movie?
Well, A24 makes a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would say that it's horror adjacent.
I remember I was specifically disappointed in this movie because I thought it was like I thought it was a superhero movie or like an action movie. Like Green
I
Knight.
think I thought it was a horror movie.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I was
weird.
also a little disappointed. So never mind. But the Green Knight himself looks cool. Like the style and stuff,
sure.
like the way he
Yeah.
looks, like the plants and everything. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That's fair.
Joan of Arc. Okay.
Joan of
Was
Arc?
she a knight?
Was she a knight?
No. I don't think technically. There's so many good knights,
There's
man.
so many.
Aren't the people from Queen knighted? Brian May?
Probably.
No.
Dan May. Freddie Mercury. Great Knight.
Look,
You're just
I'm going with Canis Rex,
Black
man.
Knight
I don't
from
know.
Monty Python Holy
Yeah,
Grail.
Black Knight.
Yeah.
The Black
But
Oh,
Flesh Wound.
if we're opening up Holy Grail, which I guess why not? Oh, I don't know. The Black Knight's the favorite?
Oh yeah.
I mean, John Cleese Lancelot is like hitting a tower with a sword. He's like hitting the castle with his sword.
Yeah. That's pretty excellent.
Liberty Fires brings up a good point. Starry Night. Now we can go to paintings.
Starry Night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. No, okay.
Some little Van
Michael
Gogh.
Caine.
Little Van-
Van Gogh.
All right.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. Thank you, Graham. We did this. Oh yeah, Graham. We did yours. We did the Iron Hands.
Iron Hands. You're good. Fire Raptor still. That's a fiend. It's
Oh,
a fiend
man,
moon.
I love it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Thank you, Lawrence. Hi guys. Can you give Risky Rollers a shout out? We are an upstarting YouTube channel that focuses on 40K as well. We love your channel, and you personally learned watching and personally learned from watching you guys. Missing Brian as well. Any tips for us? Maybe the software you're using.
What's up, Risky
Ooh.
Rollers?
Hey, check out Risky Rollers. I know I will.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like the opposite of you, John.
Risky Rollers. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not. I'll be heckling them the whole time.
Yeah.
You guys are too risky.
Too risky.
Hold
This
up.
is
Play it safe, guys.
Kills 99.9% of germs. Whoa, that is way too high. Look, that sounds awesome. We'll have to check it out. Software. So we use OBS, which is literally just the free one. Most people that get started in streaming just use that.
Free is good, especially for people starting out.
Free's good. We do clips. We use Adobe software for the clips, but there's also probably cheaper options too. It's just that's what Frank. So when we got started, it was Brian and I doing all the design work, and that's like what we knew, and it's relatively industry standard. So we like that. We use Figma for a lot of like thumbnail generation, image generation, which is an online. God,
Get that pizza
Just
away.
keep looking. It's like staring back
What if you
at
put
me.
cheese on it?
I didn't cheese on it. I know. Maybe that'll help. Anyways, it's in the cloud. So basically, it's just a browser-based vector editor. So it's nice because we can all work on it at the same time. Like one of us can take shots for a thumbnail and then put it up in the file, and then someone else can go ahead and actually make the thumbnail, and everyone else can instantly see like 3 different versions of it.
Yeah.
It's,
Brian can work
it's
on
great.
things. Yeah.
Exactly. You can be there at the same time. It's it's basically like Google Docs, but it's for vector images. So yeah, there's a couple
good question.
software that we use.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck. We will be sure to check it out.
Yeah, totally.
Very exciting
Thank you.
time. Very exciting times. Thank you, Caldor Drago's left arm.
Hey-o.
Ode to Liberty Fires. Titans!
Dad.
Titans.
How the heck do I give subs through mobile chat? We think you can't, right?
You definitely can't accept gifts in mobile chat. I assume you can't if you don't see it in the little super chat box that you'd usually click. It's probably not going to be there on mobile.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Titans.
Dad.
Moon Knight, another night.
Moon Knights, okay. Moon Knight was cool, very cool. Hopefully we get some upgrades from YouTube pretty soon for mobile.
Yeah, it's all very, very, very new. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, we're all kind of taking the brunt of that as they test it live.
Yeah. Good thing is that they're coming out with new features all the time, so it's great.
true.
Hopefully they come back around and improve the mobile side for the gifted subs. Yeah.
Thank you, Meliodas.
Meliodas. Anime.
Okay, thanks, John. What do you guys think? Crisis Alpha Strike or Kayan with a squad of Crisis with triple flamers and shields plus Gold Star with quad flamers and solid image projection?
Oh, here we
Ooh.
go.
Well,
on.
Slanesh bot.
Slanesh bots!
Dude, they were
gosh.
so bad last night.
I know. I
heard.
was
It
saying.
was crazy. They wouldn't stop.
Add moderator.
Don't make the Slanesh bot a mod!
We've always wanted to know what'll happen. So I think, Adrian, do you want to? What do you think on that? I have thoughts on this. Do
I'm
you
so
want-
torn because my first reaction was, of course, go Alpha Strike and carry on is dumb, but
Kayan's not dumb.
it's a little dumb.
Oh my god, it's not dumb, especially with the nerfs to Monka.
Yeah, no, I think Kion is actually interesting. I think Exemplar of Monka is amazing, and you'll take it regardless, with especially flamers and stuff, but you don't actually need to be in Kaoyan, in Monka. So I think Alpha Strike is really hard and not really a thing right now. So yeah, I would go this Kaoyan with flamers, shields, Cold Star, all that stuff.
If these are the two options, I don't know. I don't actually love either of these two options. A Cold Star. So I've never been. Brett is this guy, right? Brett,
I was literally thinking
Brett
of
loves
Brett.
flame, and like that comes from an era where you have a shooting army that doesn't seem to hit very well because they hit on 4s and there's not a lot you could usually do about it. It was hard to get hitting on 3s, hard to get hitting on 2s. Now, I think Tau really put out enough firepower. Marker lights are mostly helping you hit on 3s. There's enough reroll 1s. And you just have enough shots that it feels like you're not like going to shoot and being like, oh wow, I had a bad shooting phase. I just lost the game. Like that doesn't seem to happen anymore.
Yeah.
So I think flamers are just a waste, almost in the whole army. Like I just think they're a waste. Like, and there's always some time when I'm playing somebody and they come and they use their flamers and it's like, cool, I just murdered your infantry squad. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but you can put burst can. I mean, you can put so many better burst cans are better. Like, there's so many better options. I think.
Right. You got plasmas.
And Cold Star particularly is like just not like he hits on 2s. Like I just don't.
true.
I don't like flamers on especially on a commander.
That's true. I wouldn't put that's a great point. I like double burst single flamer. Like if you want mass shots, your first 2 burst cannons are cheap. The third one gets very expensive, so you can toss in a flamer.
But
But
it's more expensive. A plasma rifle is more expensive than a flamer, but like not by that much.
yeah, but it's a different type of gun at that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
We ran double burst and flamer against Deathwatch last week.
People roll odd dice.
Throw all dice. It was cool because we were also Vero Loss, so it was like mortal wounds.
Mortals, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a valid point. But yeah, I think you're right about the flamer stuff. I'll be honest.
I just on Crisis, I don't know.
Certainly the Cold Star.
The idea of flamers are cool on units that are also not half bad at melee. Or like that you're okay being in melee. And I guess you're kind of okay with Crisis Suits being in melee.
We had Kion, right? So the idea is you be aggressive, and if they want to charge you, they're going to take the Overwatch, because you're still going to have one early warning override.
Yeah.
And then you're going to just
They
yeet out of
explode.
there.
They still explode in that phase.
Explode in that phase,
Yeah.
and they run away. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is interesting, but I don't know, whatever reason, I just don't love flamers on. I hate to say it, but Tau. Period.
Wow.
Okay, thank you, Blackbird. I'm doing some work, and all I hear is pain and yelling. For honor, 5s. Can't change the past. Sad counting noises.
It was a very passionate evening. That
It
was
was
for
very,
sure.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my, I'm still thinking about the last turn. I'm like, just so. Okay.
It must be a way.
7.
Blackbird, what's up? Thank you
What's
very
up, man?
much. As always.
For honor.
Honor.
You forgot the U.
Yeah.
Honor.
Yeah. Thank you, Twitch Studios. Looking to add a flyer to my Goths army.
Cool.
What one would be the best to suit the Goths playstyle, or would it be best to just invest in more chappas? Wow.
Oh, gosh, I struggle with flyers so much because every time I think that the Wazbomb Blast Jet is like out, it comes back in, and I see people running 2 of them, and they do well, and I'm like, this thing is so stressful. But it's probably the Wazbomb Blastojet. You know, it is one of the few consistent-ish sources of shooting in the Orc army, and you can, deep strike it. You can keep it back and safe. It just keeps coming back in the meta. So I think it's pretty interesting, honestly. Beyond that, because of Armor Contempt, I don't know. Like Docket Jets are cute. I'd say cute. Otherwise, yeah, frankly, more Choppas, get in there, get stuck in, and just like overwhelm them with options. But I have even recently seen double Wazbomb Blast Jets doing work. So if you want a flyer, I would look at that one.
Flyers are also like, I think we've said this before, often like flyers are this thing where it's like if you want to add a flyer, consider adding 2 flyers.
Yes,
Like
and that's true for the Wazbomb as well,
Yeah.
unfortunately. It's almost always 2.
Yeah.
Just so many points, which is why I...
How many points
stay
are
away.
they? Do you know?
2, if you upgrade them, 225.
Oh.
Yeah. For a T6 12 wound orc flyer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. They do. So the Tau ones are like down to like 120s.
I saw, so my brother is kind of getting back into it.
Yeah.
And he plays Tau, and so I was looking up Tau list for him. There was an undefeated Tau list from the recent GT with a Sunshark bomber,
Just one?
What?
as far as I could tell. I stopped reading.
Yeah, I
one.
think they're. I don't know. I'm kind of. I actually want to paint them up and play them on stream.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The Razor Shark too. The Razor Shark is so cheap.
Yeah.
With it's gonna have a Markalite. I don't know. They're kind of interesting.
Yeah, some of these flyers are dirt cheap.
Yeah. Thank you, Connor. On the Leagues of Votann, I really want to know what they got up to during the Heresy. What are your all's thoughts? I like to imagine the Emperor purposefully left them alone.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Horus Heresy was like a big deal to humans,
Yeah.
but for everyone else,
Right?
I don't know.
Well, so mostly anything that was kind of like diverted from being a human got wiped out, right?
Yeah. Whatever they could find, for sure.
Whatever they could find.
Sure.
Because were they in hiding? The
Leagues.
the leagues? Like, I don't know, what's the sort of lore reason for them being reintroduced? Are they like, they're coming back, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I also don't know.
Maybe they were underground. Plastic dwarf things. Just digging holes
Under space ground.
under space ground.
I think if they were like, I'm ignoring the answer. Look, I don't think that anyone would be going to go find them in Horus Heresy. Like, everyone was obsessed with killing
Sure.
each other.
Sure.
So I think if they were already avoiding us,
Okay, but maybe Connor doesn't necessarily mean the heresy as much as he means as the Great Crusade.
the Great Crusade, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And during that time, I mean, anything that wasn't like any human, any society that came from humans, came from Earth, came from Terra, they found them and they were like, how human are you? Most of them not human enough, so you're just gonna have to die.
Yeah.
I don't know. These guys probably would have been, yeah. The Emperor purposely leaving them alone is interesting, actually.
They're too strong.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Like the Emperor had like a little height limit or something on like?
No, like maybe he thought that they would be good allies, like down.
Sure,
down the road or
yeah. I love. Oh yeah, obviously.
I think
They would have
Agreeable.
been strong.
I
yeah.
think they were hiding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really curious to see how it flushes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shay. Guys, I need help with this game. I can't pick a faction. I have some mental health issues, and choosing feels crippling.
Okay. Okay.
Understandable.
Understandable.
So very broad. Let's see. I
We just
think
have to choose one.
you just have to
We
choose.
gotta choose. We have to choose. No, it's us.
Oh,
it's
okay.
us. The
Yeah.
stress
I
is
was
with
like,
us.
That's good advice.
She's passed this to us. We gotta.
That's true. That's true.
No, I'm stressed. Okay, let's all do one.
Well,
Let's narrow it down.
how do you?
So-
Yes, we're definitely going to do that. We're going to give you each of our votes,
Yeah, for sure.
based wildly off of knowing nothing.
Right. Yeah. That's
In
that's the
chat, some
challenge.
people were helping Shay and saying,
Oh,
you
cool.
know, think about play style. I always kind of think, like I always tell people, like think about play style, lore, and painting, and rank those three for yourself. Right. And for me, I look for armies that, because there are armies out there for me anyway, in both AOS and 40K that knock all three out of the park.
Yep.
And then there are armies that do two of them. And then for painting, I can usually make that up, right? I like Alpha Legions. I don't particularly love.
Yeah.
They're cool, but I'll do like the weird water effects on the bases, right? I'll figure out some way.
Yeah.
How do you decide? I mean, you play like almost every army, but
Yeah.
you feel like some armies are more armies you
Yeah.
you almost have the opposite question. What if you had to suddenly get rid of like almost all your armies?
What? That'd be horrible.
Or here's another one. Like
about
I know right now in AOS, like you and I have been chatting AOS for almost a year now,
Yeah.
but I've never seen you as excited as you are about the Skaven.
Yeah.
Like you weren't that excited about Night Haunt,
Yeah.
or any of the other ones that have come out.
The Nine Haunt disappointed me because it felt like the clear way to play them was hordes. Like lots and lots of ghosts. And a lot of the same kind of
They don't
ghosts.
have they don't even have like monsters, or they barely have anything else.
They
to cart.
Yeah, and like I already have those, but they're not like the most competitive way to play them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me it didn't encourage me to like go out and expand my collection. So that's what stopped me, because I was really excited for the book, and then the book came out and I was kind of like, it's a good book, but I'm not feeling it.
Okay.
The Skaven hit those points for me because I think they're crafty and interesting to play. The models are gorgeous. The lore is interesting. And it's fun to paint. So I think some of these have different priorities. Yeah, for me, it's like, yeah, do I like the models? Do I like the play style? That's actually the most important. The lore is important, but less so, like the way that it plays out in the game is more important to me. And they need to have character. So this is why I used to have a Tyranid army when I was young. And I ended up giving them to my brother because there was nothing I could get behind. They were all faceless alien monsters.
And that's
Yeah.
stuff that's almost what you're describing. I would say is also true for me. Like the character, it's almost intangible. It's almost hard
Yeah.
because some people, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But play style and models for sure, which kind of goes hand in hand with like painting, right?
Yeah.
So
all
what do you
good
think, John?
answers.
What like attracts you to an army?
Honestly, I like the narrative aspect coupled with the gameplay and like, I'm not competitive, but just the gameplay of how it plays, like what you were saying. I want to be able to read a piece of lore and then pick up an army and play something that I think is like, cool in that way. Like I'm in this story, like, and navigating through it as like almost like a game, like an RPG game or something.
We've seen you go from playing like at least I knew you playing specific armies.
Sure.
And you play tons of them now.
You played all elves.
Yeah.
All elves.
Sure.
But you've also even like invested in some. So like Grey Knights, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you first came on the channel, and that was actually one of the first things I said. It was like, hey, we need someone to play Grey Knights.
Sure.
And so you started learning them, playing them. You were using Brian's models.
Right.
But then you got really into them.
I got like really into it, like
Right.
where I was just like, I like literally bought the video game. I was like reading up on them. I'm like, oh, these guys are cool.
commissioned a
Like
whole
now,
army.
like yeah, now like literally, I'm like have to be in like the zone of like a Grey Knight. Like I am a Grey Knight dude,
Yeah.
and like I feel cool playing this army. So I would wish that feeling on anyone who picks up an army. You need to be able to get in that headspace and like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like this is a cool army to play. If you don't feel passionate about it, feel the same way about Tyranids sometimes. Where like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like a faceless army, like there's not really like why are they doing this? Oh, they're hungry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
they're hungry.
I would
Some
say,
people do love that about
yeah,
it.
sometimes they like
Sure.
the swarminess and just playing like the baddies, you know? And that's the headspace I get into when I play Tyranids, right? I'm just like, oh, gobble gobble.
Exactly.
Watch out. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think reading Wikia, just going on like Wikia or any of the fan sites and just like reading through them. The first time I actually had to like really big, what army am I gonna play is when I started playing Horus Heresy. Because Tau, like I started playing 40k because Tau were cool.
Right.
I wasn't like, oh, I want to play 40k. I was like, oh, these guys look cool. I want to play the game they're in. But then when I was like, I want to get in the Horus Heresy, I was like, I started reading through all the different chapters, and I picked one that to me seemed the coolest at that time. And it changes too, you know.
It does change,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a good question. Oh my gosh.
It's a tough question.
This is like getting into it.
As I've aged, I've become less about the intelligence of the Thousand Suns and just more into being obnoxious and irritating. Like
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the quest for knowledge as I've aged is pointless, I've learned. But being annoying and having a good time is always in style. Here's Connor. Connor was asking earlier, right? Like we kind of answered this already, Connor. Why did you shoot the little transport instead of the murder chicken?
I saw this coming, and like I don't know if you guys could tell. Chat probably did. I like spaced out in just darkness. And halfway through that other question, I was like, why didn't I?
Oh, Connor, I know. There's so many questions people ask. Like, oh, why didn't you move back just that one time? Yes, you would have lost 1 point there, but you gained 3 points. And then you would.
But he could have put another unit back there. I don't know, man. I just didn't want to think about it. No, I mean, dude, we don't script our games, so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't do the math correctly, didn't see the opportunity. Yeah, I probably would have taken less damage if I just killed the chickens, you know? And then you wouldn't have gotten 4 points, and then probably been on top. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Good. Hey, that's why you guys watch us, so you can learn
That's
from
right.
our
What
mistakes.
not to do.
What not
Which is
to do.
important. Which is important.
Which is
some
it?
ways
Yeah,
it's
you
more
gotta admit,
interesting.
Connor. Now you
Yeah.
know. Play against knights. Play knights. Look for it.
Thank you, the Steelyard.
Oh,
You
here
get
we go.
Isekai'd to 40k. Continued.
My favorite.
Call wants you to design a mech suit Knight Gundam baby carrier with
Nice.
ad mech help.
Okay.
What is your main inspiration?
Inspiration?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. You absolutely need like Gundam wing inspiration. I want wings for
Yeah.
sure. Think
Yours
like
is flying, okay.
think almost like sanguineous wings.
Oh,
right. If you
okay.
haven't seen it, Endless Waltz. Really good. That's all I got. That's where my head went.
Big wings, big angel wings.
Gosh, chat has to help me remember this. It's a super old anime, mech anime. Had the sword. It was like French/Rose, War of Roses kind of theme.
That's cool.
Not Evangelion. Nope. I knew not that one.
You sure? Because Evangelion says Evangelion. Pretty sure.
I would have known that if I took inspiration there. But that's a good one though. Evangelion's a good one.
Yeah, it's
What about you
classic,
guys? Come back to me.
Look, I'm a huge fan of, like, camping with your mech. Okay?
Oh, I like this.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, I love the sort of, like, mech as, like, companion to you. And it's kind of like your best friend. It's like your pet, but your best friend, but also, like, you can, like, fight, you know, with each other and you can go inside. But you also, like, go camping, you know, and, like, I just love that kind of connection. So it'd be something like that. It'd be kind of like probably like a four-legged kind of rovery kind of dude. Like they can scrap, but they're just like it's a really fancy RV camper that's like sentient.
I see that as like a
fishing.
buffing unit, like buffs a lot of infantry nearby.
Yeah, totally,
Yeah, yeah.
100%. So that's,
Okay,
that's always been my thing.
I'm going to combine. So what AdMech need is just like a mad, angry thing that hits and hits hard. All
Yeah.
their like combat things are very dinky,
Yeah.
right? So I'm
That's
going to
true.
combine like a silverback gorilla with like a spider, and
Oh,
so
right.
it's like a gorilla, and it kind of has like the gorilla posture and has like the two long arms, but also has like
Yeah.
these other arms. And it just takes off running on like 8 gorilla legs,
Oh,
and then
really
is
cool.
like fighting. And it's got all these different arms. It has like
cool.
no guns. It just like punches.
That's
Yeah.
like the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Gorilla
cool.
spider mech suit.
I'm thinking of like Overwatch almost, where he has like
Yeah,
super
yeah.
tanky like gizmos and
Totally.
stuff. Yeah.
Ooh.
Thank you, James. You got it. Escaflowne. So Escaflowne,
I've heard of Escaflowne.
yeah, has the sword, whoosh, and then add the wings from Gundam Wing, or Endless Waltz. Boom.
Megas XLR.
But
or
AdMech.
AdMech.
Yeah, exactly. No problem. Is that too much to ask for? Little saddlebags.
I like it. Thank you, Alex. Hey, Titans, go, big boys. Adrian,
Oh.
I shared the Night Lord contrast experiment like you asked for. Solid base. Thanks for the color suggestion.
Awesome. So glad we could be of help. We were discussing this on Hobby Titans last night. So, yeah, our pleasure. I'm glad it helped. It was very interesting to kind of think about. So, thanks for asking. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Biggie Hugs. You guys are amazing.
Thanks.
Sad news with the recent discontinuation of the Choco Taco from Klondike. What is now your favorite Taco Bell item? The Doritos Cheesy Gordita or the Mighty Crunch Wrap Supreme?
Ooh, that's actually pretty tight.
I've never had either of these things.
Choco Taco.
Got discontinued, yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
that'll be
That's
back.
fair.
We'll
That's
see.
fair.
I say that, so Bay Area people don't know this necessarily, but we have a theme park called Great America.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey guys, Great America's closing in 11 years. I'm like, we'll see.
We'll see.
Like, no, everyone's like, no, the land got sold. It's big. I'm like, okay,
Okay, bud.
okay. We'll see how companies in a post-COVID world advertise their scarcity and use their weaponize their scarcity.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's wild.
Choco Taco. I don't think it's going. Cannot be that much money to make a Choco Taco. Come on. It's if you could make a Klondike, you can literally make a Choco Taco. Like, I just rolled my eyes when I heard this. Okay.
Amazing.
Oh, I love Zach.
Anyway, we
Mighty Crunch Wrap Supreme, I think I was
Yeah,
stuck with it.
haven't
yeah.
had these.
Yeah.
Crunchwrap Supreme. Always going with the Crunchwrap Supreme. So
That's
probably
classic.
Is it?
I almost
is it,
get
is
it
wrapped
over-
in the tortilla thing?
Yeah.
tortilla thing. It's like
You probably had it.
octagon-y.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'd go with that. Although it's pretty close. I'll be honest.
Was it cheesy gordita?
Cheesy gordita.
It's the it's pretty self-explanatory, right? It's one of the so it's the Dorito hard shell with I don't even know really what's in it. I'll be honest, but it's really good. It's got cheese and meat in it.
Yeah.
Fugs, thank you. Yeah, furniture store here has been going out of sale every summer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good one.
Exactly.
true.
Exactly.
I'm boring, man. Crunchwrap Supreme. I'm tried and true. Plus, it has a good amount of vegetables in there too. Got some lettuce. Got some tomatoes in there.
I think
It's
that's
just a well-rounded
yeah.
item, dude.
I think that's weirdly why I'm like Taco Bell gets like too much flack for not being healthy. Is like you end up eating a surprise amount of like vegetables.
yeah.
Um,
I agree with that. I think there's a lot more veggies than people say. It's terrible.
it's terrible. Hey, we did it.
We did it. Amazing evening. Lovely game as always.
Great game.
Zach, thank you for leading us through this journey. And
Amazing, Zach.
chat.
Wow.
Well done.
Look, we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up soon on Tabletop Titans and Hobby Titans. Tomorrow, as we mentioned, we're releasing a video where we talk about our newest addition to the team, so you won't want to miss that, and do give them your full support. Saturday, of course, we're going to be back at it. It's going to be the forces of the Dark Angels against the Tyranids.
Tyranids.
Very cool stuff. First time at Nephilim for both these factions on the channel. It's going to be a ton of fun. And again, if you are a member or became a member today, don't forget Tuesday, we have a vote. The vote is up. We're moving the votes forwards just because it's going to make it a bit easier to plan the schedules,
Yeah.
get everything lined up for the whole week. So
It's going to be a Bridger John game.
Yep.
It's going to be super fun. Let us know what we're playing.
It's pretty exciting stuff. So, look, thank you guys so much for joining us. That's going to do it for us. We'll catch you next time on the tabletop. Bye.
Bye.